Let's discuss.
Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another video, and today I am very excited because Holding Absence has put out another new single called False Dawn. I covered A Crooked Melody on my channel when that dropped. I always try to stay on top of Holding Absence releases. I just saw them live a couple of weeks ago at the time I'm filming this. Every time I see them, they just put on such an energetic, a consistent performance. I'm very excited for this. They've become quickly in the last few years one of my most revisited bands. They're definitely in the top 10 streamed bands for me of the last 3 years or so. So needless to say, I'm always looking forward to what they'll do next. I'm not going to talk too much in this intro. I will link all of the pre-orders, any sort of social media promotional links for Holding Absence in the description of this video. Shout out to Sharp Tone for getting this over to me in time to make a video, even though I'm recording this much later than I wanted to. Thank you regardless. I'm going to stop talking. We are going to get straight into it.
So it's 4 in the morning and I'm mourning.
Oh, I thought it was a visualizer.
Person I could have been.
Cool.
From humble beginnings to humble ends. Turns out I don't amount to anything. There's a prophecy of me that's been seen, but I just don't believe it.
Oh! I really like this video. To be lucky again, I hope that Providence is luminous enough to show me the way, to show me the way. Save your faith, or let you down again. Ooh, I thought it was gonna hit us with that, like, halftime first, but nah.
Save your faith, or let you down again.
Holding Absence, False Dawn. Let's discuss. Another one with an absolute gem of a chorus. I think the two of these tracks side by side, a Crooked Melody, I think overall I prefer. They're from the chorus to the bridge. Every moment of that song, especially after seeing it live and kind of having a very emotional reaction in person to a certain part of that song that I didn't really expect to quite as much. I had been sort of jamming that song in a more upbeat type of way when I was listening to it, but something about singing some of those lyrics back and stuff, it just hit me in such a way that I think that'll be a little bit hard to top. This I do think will be a grower for me, as the chorus was certainly the main attraction, but there are some really nice plays in here from Scott. There are the gang vocals in there that I really did not expect to come through. What packed the most of a punch for me would be the chorus, though. I think that will be something that the more I listen to this, the more that it gets stuck in my head, the more that I kind of develop that sort of attachment to it that I did in a live setting with a Crooked Melody. For some parts, I think I felt that sort of right away with this song in the chorus. Failing myself, and that the way myself is delivered, such a hook that is incredibly catchy. So these two are very promising side by side, both coming off of an upcoming record. Looking at that, I'm very hopeful. I love Holding Absence. They are a top band for me, like I already mentioned. They're a band that I do not miss when they come here and play live. I was waiting for 4 years for them to come here, and so obviously every time I get the opportunity to see them, I am on that. But I think in their full lengths, both the self-titled and in The Greatest Mistake of My Life, there are certain things that, if done a bit differently, like the ending of The Greatest Mistake of My Life, stuff like that I think done somewhat differently, it would just pack a lot more of a punch for me as a full record, and that really speaks to my taste too. That's not really a critique on the material itself, but when it comes to samples and interludes and tracks that kind of serve that sort of purpose heavily, whether it be voice stuff, speaking, The Greatest Mistake of My Life has a lot of that. I still think about that when I think of Die Alone in Your Lover's Arms, and those, they serve a great purpose, but I think I'm looking for like that ending of a record that's like Wilt for me. Wilt was hearing that as the closer of the self-titled, but there's one or two spots on self-titled I think that just don't carry the same weight for me as the rest of the record, because some of those songs are just some of the most played stuff in my playlist at all, especially over the last 5 years or so. So that being considered, it's more speaking to that quality. I'm hopeful that this record is gonna be that, like, through and through, front to back, I'm just replaying everything sort of record, because the potential for them has always been there for me, to have that sort of perfect record, but I just don't think that I've really felt it yet. Though some of the tracks on self-titled are, make me want to give it that perfect title. I think when you look at it in the sense of like, oh, this doesn't hold up as well as other parts for me, I don't necessarily know that they've really had anything that I would just like straight up skip that's not really like an interlude type of deal. They have things that really do purge off of self-titled. I think some people don't feel that track as much, but that for me really, really hits. It serves a great purpose. So it's not tracks like that I'm talking about. Hopefully that, good. Oh, wow, I am going on about this. Hopefully I conveyed what I meant very well. I just think that Holding Absence is a really special band that bring in like that emotive post-hardcore sound that a lot of us kind of spent time with, whether it be more recent, whether it was like 10 years ago, whatever the case is. I think that Holding Absence brings that over and does something really fresh. Lucas's vocals just keep getting better and better, whether we're talking about a studio version of Lucas or the live version, which is really like my main focus. Their live performance has just you see the growth just from when they first started touring the US after the pandemic to the most recent tour they just did here with The Plot and You. Just an incredible difference. And if you go back and watch the live video of Dream of Me, I love that video. It's what's made me like want to see that song so damn bad one day, hopefully. But that video, if you look at their live performance there and then you look at how they're doing things now, I think it really highlights that. Anyway, a lot of vocal runs that I think really show off the progress I'm talking about with Lucas. And then there is, like, I think it's right around 2 minutes, somewhere in that portion of the track where there's just a little bit of guitar there that kind of emphasizes some of the same, I think, enunciation, sort of. I don't know necessarily. I need to re-listen, obviously, but that Lucas was putting on some of the vocals. It felt kind of in that same vein, if that makes sense. So some cool spice there. The visuals, outstanding. Third Eye Visuals has got to be one of the best in the game. If you've seen some of the work on Alpha Wolf's videos, or just any of the Third Eye Visuals is becoming more and more popular too, whether it be across sharp tone bands or UNFD, just more and more Third Eye Visuals that I'm seeing on videos, and I love that because I truly think that he has got to be one of the best in the game. Like I said, this I thought it was a visualizer at first because it just looks like something that couldn't be so involved as this is. It's almost like a live video and a lyric video all in one, which I love a live video. I love a lyric video, the combination of those two. And then you have like the colors that are associated with this album, the blues and the golds and stuff, used in a way that just makes everything really pop and look like a painting, sort of, even when it's somebody playing their instrument or Lucas singing or something. I think it looks more like a painting than anything, which is very neat. It seems like he is very kind of tapped into the vision that Holding Absence has for this record, and I'll be excited to see what else comes of that. But very solid, catchy track. I think a lot of people, maybe they'll prefer this to a Crooked Melody. I've been pretty off with whatever I pick as my favorite of something lately has seemed, which obviously it doesn't change anything for me, but it seemed to be flipped from the general consensus of the comparison or whatever. So I'm gonna make that my guess, but I don't think looking at the two side by side I'd quite be able to tell, because they're both just incredibly solid tracks from Holding Absence. I feel like as we went into the first two off of The Greatest Mistake of My Life, I had one I very much preferred, and then the other one I just felt was like solid, very catchy as we went into that. And if anyone can guess which one is which, I'll let you know in the comments. But for me, these two are ripping right into the album, have me feeling the ways that I've certainly talked about in this. This is a lengthy old outro and it's all over the place because ADD. Anyway, Holding Absence. I'm going to make a video for anything else that they do, whether it be a single, another single before the album's out in August, probably, I would assume, or that video when the album is out, and I cannot wait. I am expecting this to be a top record for me. This is a band I've listened to a ton of, that I am constantly finding myself falling more and more in love with their discography, so I would be extremely surprised if this didn't end up as a top record for me. So let me know what you thought in the comments, which of the two singles you prefer. I will link all of the band's social media, promotional links, anything you may need regarding Holding Absence, like pre-orders and stuff, in the description of this video. And yeah, also my link tree will be there. That is where the invite for the Discord server is. Discord is where the community is based for my YouTube channel. Patreon, I've been putting up some early access videos and such on there. I've got a bunch of stuff I offer in the tiers, which are all listed out on the Patreon. I'm also getting into Twitch streaming. I'm hopefully going to be doing one coming up this week. I just need to make sure I stay feeling better and don't get sick again like the last 3 weeks have gone. And then we'll be moving on. All that information, anything you need related to the channel, is in the link tree in the description. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.